Hey guys, today I'm making a tutorial on how to make Iridium in the latest versions of IC2 that's being used in Diablo 20 mod pack and others. And here with me is Ryan Garrett. Say hi.
Hello, people.
Yeah, so let's get started. The first thing you need is one mass fabricator, or two, speeds up the process, but what mass fabricators do is that they make UU matter using EU, the energy unit, for IC2. Now, it's really slow without scrap, so I recommend pumping in scrap boxes and putting transformer upgrades so I could just take more EU in at a faster rate. Now, what's going to happen is that you're going to need some kind of piping system. I chose fluid ducts. I prefer them. You can use, I'm pretty sure you can use Buildcraft pipes, but fluid ducts work. And you want to set them up so they output. You could either use a redstone signal or put a servo in. Hit it with the wrench to make sure that you see the red arrow, because that means that it's pulling out items, or pulling out whatever it's set to. If it's fluid duct, liquid, item duct, items. And now I have these outputting to the steel tank over here, which collects the UU matter. Now I just filled it up with some barrels because it takes a really long time. And then what you want to do is that you want to have your tank pumping what's it called, UU matter into a replicator. And then what you do is that you have to find some iridium. I'm pretty sure this is the only way, but you have to find iridium somewhere in the world, and then wait for this thing to scan that, and then that'll take a while. But yeah, so the way I pumped in scrap is that I used two transvector interfaces, a chester and an item duct. I just did this over here so I could show you guys, but what you could do to make this look pretty is that you could put this behind a wall or something, because if you look at it, there's only two real sides you can use. There's the back for energy, or pumping out the fluid, or under it, because you really don't want to use the front or the top because that just looks bad. So you could use transvector interfaces, and then you could just pump in scrap. Like if I do this, if I disable this, you could see that when the scrap starts going down, it won't be replenished. See, scrap's not being replenished over here, and over here. But if I go over here, press the redstone button, and then you can see scraps starting to be pumped in again. See? Now, I'm going to give this a second because the scanner takes a while, so we'll be back for that. And hello people, we're back. So, this is done scanning, and now there's a save button, and if you put your crystal memory in there, you can save, or if you have a pattern storage next to it. Now, if we take it out, we can see that this does use a lot of UU matter. It uses 22 buckets of UU matter, and these only produce one bucket at a time. So these take a while. So you might want to let that run for a while, and it also takes, what is that, 1 million EU? And then what you could do is that you put your crystal memory with the iridium ore scanned onto it in your pattern storage, and then you press import from crystal, and you can take your crystal out, and
Crystal
then
meth?
if you, yes, crystal meth. Don't do drug, kids. That's bad. Now, if you're going to do your replicator, you can press next pattern. Now you can see that the iridium ore is in here. And now what you could do is that if you do, you could press single run, and that'll just make it once. Or you could do repeat run, which will make it just keep going and keep making iridium for you, provided you have the supply of either UU matter or EU. Now, the reason I recommend putting it in a tank is that the internal buffer of the replicator can only store 16 buckets of UU matter. But one iridium takes 22 buckets of UU matter, so you're going to need another source to put it in. So we can do single run. Now, this will take a while, but I'll just ramble on about this, because I don't think there's a need to cut this back in the video, again, because we're just going to see UU matter down here. That's all that's going to happen. But more on the transvector interfaces. What you could do is that you get this thing called transvector binder. You would just right click this, and then it'll say location set. Then you can right click another item with inventory storage, and then you would shift right click this, and then if they're close enough, I think the radius is 4 blocks, it'll say binding successful, and then you can pump scrap into this like I'm doing. Or let's say if you wanted to be crafty, what you could do is that you could use the transvector interface to pump UU matter into the replicator if you wished. But these work with most things. Like, people have done nuclear reactor setups where they completely encase the nuclear reactor and have 2 transvector binders, one to put items into the reactor and another one to take energy out of the nuclear reactor. That way there's no holes for either a fiber cable or an item duct to put items in there. So these can be really useful. But that about ends my tutorial using a tank to store UU matter. And mass fabricators create the UU matter, replicator uses it, scan the iridium with the scanner, crystal memory, put it into the pattern storage, select it in the replicator, single one, repeat run, depending on what you do. Alright, see you guys.